Howdy everybody, first off I'm gonna say that this video won't be in that great a quality because I don't have that great equipment, but this is my first video. I'm just gonna talk about the game collection I currently have. Consoles. It's also one of the first ones to feature both a cartridge input and one for a card. Not many of the cards are available. Second is Super Nintendo. This is the first game console I ever got. I forgot the year it was made. I don't really feel like taking it out of my area here with my TV. But, yeah, there's a lot of great games on it. If looking to buy a starter, if you're new to all the old games, this is one I'd suggest out of all of them. Next is my ColecoVision, one of the rivals of the Atari 2600 and the Intellivision. It had a bit better graphics than both of them, and it was different. Also had a lot of expansion modules, one to drive with, another one to play your Atari games, which you probably end up getting, I don't know why they didn't get sued for that, and the last one's hooked up to an Atom computer. The controllers on it are pretty bad and stiff, but at least you can hook it up with a Sega Master System or Sega Genesis and an Atari controller. Next, Sega Dreamcast. It was Sega's last system, and made at the same time as the GameCube. This is actually a really good system to go out with, but I wish Sega kept on going. Here is my PS1 and the PS2. The PS1 isn't that equivalent today, since you can play the same games on the PS2 and the PS3, even though some PS3s you can't. So PS2 is a very good system to get as well, and the PS1 also made a good history as well. Now here is the Sega Saturn. I don't have that much stuff on it, I don't know about a lot about that one either. Made the same time PS1 and the Nintendo 64. The next one is Nintendo 64. For it, it was made the same time as this one, and I think it was a pretty great idea for Nintendo to stick with using cartridges, because CDs get scratched up easy and and they're smaller and really annoying to use. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. Next is the Sega Genesis, one of Nintendo's biggest rivals with Sega, and this is one of their main systems that they made. It had the same type of controller input as the Atari, even though you can't see it because of the video quality. Next, which one you probably can't see that well, sorta, is the Philips CDI. This is a really good system, and but my father was one of the first person to ever get one, because his friend Jason worked at the Philips company. Next is the GameCube. I remember this is another one of the first systems I've played, but this isn't not one I had. I got this quite recently, and I got it pretty cheap too. It's about as equivalent as the PS1 because you can play the exact same games on the Wii, just use the same disc and everything. But it is a pretty good system, I'll say. Next is the NES. This is the top loader version, which I see to be a bit better, because it's harder to break. It's a bit better quality since they already knew how to make the console. They just made it a bit better. Next, this is the Atari. You really can't see it. Give me a second. Box. The Famicom was the Japanese version of the NES, if you didn't already know that. Here is one of the many Pong consoles. This one is the Radio Shack Electronic Scoreboard. I was kind of really lucky to get it complete inside the box and all that. Here's one of the Odyssey 2 board games. This one's Conquest of the World. Yeah, I don't even know why they made Okay, I believe they made this because the first Odyssey had most of their games were board games anyway. Um, I'm just gonna give you an overview of it. This is one Atari game for NES, NES, SNES, you can't see it well, or N64. I got two of them mint condition, which is a pretty rare find. And I didn't spend a whole lot of money on either, so that was lucky too. This is just a bunch of Atari games complete inside the box I have. You really can't see it well, sorry for that. Here is the Super Nintendo Super Scope 6. It's pretty big and kind of bulky and hard to use. Down here is a bunch of Atari games, Television 2 games, and Odyssey 2 games. Yeah, I'm sorry about the bad quality, but kind of all I got right now. Also, I got a few posters here from some of the games. First part I just want to say is that I'm not like a lot of game collectors. I do take really good care of my games. All the boxes, I make sure they're nicely taped up. I make sure everything is in nice condition. I always clean it. In a few games I had to repair and such. The the main NES, the old one, I pretty much built it myself. I don't have it right here with me right now. It's at a different house, so I can play it there. But yeah, I make sure all my games are nice and clean, and they're all organized and in great condition. But it looks like it's kind of messy, and it really ain't. The only thing that is messy is my desk over here. All this, that's not, that's the only thing that's messy. It's mainly because I had to take apart my lamp so I could have the best lighting I can get right now. But that's pretty much it. I'll leave myself to show you from games. I'll see you next time, and I don't have a schedule when I bring out videos. I just do this.